Okay, welcome to session 2 of your new consultant training. And if you look in your table of contents, it's talking about behind the scenes of a skincare class or a Mary Kay party, whatever you would like to call it. So when you turn to section 2 in your training book, you will see the art of conversations and how to meet people. These are just some of the suggested conversations that you can have when you're out and about, and how to meet people by what we call warm chattering. When you are out and about living your life, there are always women around you with skin who may be interested in the services that you provide as a Mary Kay business consultant. Now, do I always have a dress on when I'm out and about and working? I mean, out and about living my life? No, I don't. But I will tell you that you always want to have your face done. Always make sure you've got your Mary Kay on and that you have your hair done. And, just be comfortable with who you are and what you are doing. And when we are comfortable with who we are and what we're doing and excited about building our business, actual prospective clients will be drawn to us. And so just smile, make eye contact, and let it be something natural that comes into the conversation. Now, on the page, you will see here some suggested dialogues if you are going out specifically to look for women with skin, that you can do that. But I will tell you, I don't actively just go out to look for people. I just make it a part of my day. If I have someone that provides great service to me, I just say, would it offend you? I gave you my business card. I truly appreciated how you served and took care of me today, and I understand that because I am also in the service business. So just make it part of who you are. Like, remember I talked about, this is your life, this is Mary Kay, and we're going to blend it into your life. I will tell you the strongest way to build your business is, of course, booking parties and appointments from your Mary Kay parties. And so we're going to be talking about that. But that's just the art of conversation and meeting people. Then on the next page, it's talking about how do you call these people back that you are in contact with. And when we do more face-to-face training, we will talk more about this. This will be the next extension after we do your launch weeks and we get you started with the people you know. Now, the next page, the new consultant booking dialogue, is actually the dialogue that I highly suggest that you use when you are booking your perfect power start. And you are just calling, say, hey, hi Brenda, this is Mary. Do you have a quick minute? Well, I want to tell you something excited. I've started my own business with Mary Kay. It's cosmetics. Can you believe that? Well, my training starts this week, and I was wondering if you could help me out by letting me practice on your face. I will even pay you with free product if you will let me use your face. Great, you will. Thanks so much. And I promise you're going to have a great time. Now, which would work better for you, the first part of the week or the last part of the week? Tuesday or Wednesday? And I'm going to teach you how to do this, how to ask the time so you can narrow down a time to schedule. So you just say, which would work better for you this week or next week, Tuesday or Thursday, 6:30 or 7:30, if you want morning or day. And then you just say, Brenda, my training requirement is to hold 5 parties in the next 2 weeks. Is there any way you could invite a couple of friends to join you? I will even have more free products for you just to say thanks, and that would really help me out with my training. Could you do that? Great. Well, would you like to hear about how you can earn your first chunk of free product? So you're basically going to be, and I will talk to you more about this before you go to book your parties, but you're basically just saying, hey, could you help me out with my training? Don't worry about whether you sell product or not. What we want you to do is get your appointments on the books. And after you have your appointments on the books, then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to coach you with how you coach your hostess. So using this new consultant dialogue, it's in section 2 on page 3. And practice it before you get on the phone to start calling with your guest list, your list of women that you made with skin. Okay, the next page is just as some other booking dialogues that you can use after we've gotten your Perfect Start booked. Those are just some other suggestions and some ideas. And then we do have some overcoming objections, like I don't have time, I don't have the money, I use brand X, I don't wear makeup. If they say they don't have time, I usually will ask them, well, how much time do you think it takes? Now, when you are booking with people that you know to book your Power Start, they're really willing probably to give you some time to help you out with your training. I always just say them, I know how you feel. It'll only take if we can set aside a couple of hours for some pampering. So you just ask her if there is any way where you could find a block of time where you could do a party with her. If she says she doesn't want to book a party with you because she doesn't have money, well, I'm going to be totally honest with you. You really don't want to be working in a circle where people don't have that disposable income. Hear my heart. I am helping teach you how to grow a viable business so you can make money at this. If you just think she's just saying, I don't have money, or just say, well, one of the ways you don't have to worry about purchasing anything, you are just helping me out with booking, is that you're going to be able to earn products. But I will tell you, if you're working in a circle of women who don't have any money, most of their friends don't have any money too. When they say, I use brand X, I say, that's great. You already know the value of a skincare, and so I really look forward to you giving me your opinion of what you think of our products in comparison to yours. And then go back into which is better for you, the first part of the week or the last part of the week. If they say I don't wear makeup, I say, oh, that is great too, because my main business is skincare and teaching women how to take care of their skin. So, knowing that, would there be any reason why we couldn't get together and you could give me the opinions of our product? The next thing they say is, I don't have enough friends. I don't have anyone to invite. Well, when they say that, I just say, all I need is you and 2 people in order to make it a party. Do you have a couple of neighbors or anyone from church or from work that would come and help you out get some free product? And then, I'm allergic to Mary Kay. Well, that I asked them then when was the last time they tried it and exactly what kind of reaction that they had. Again, Mary Kay is not for, well, I believe it's for almost everyone. But if someone has had a reaction, I always let them make the call. But what I have found is many times they didn't have a reaction is they got started with the product and then there was not a proper follow-up afterwards to make sure that the system was absolutely tweaked to give them their best possible skin. But again, I don't fuss with them. Now, I only work overcoming the objection by just giving them the next thing of what we might do next after I overcome the objection. But I really don't fuss with trying to get someone to hold an appointment that I can feel is really in resistance, because what we want to do is we want to attract our market. We want to know people that we don't attack, that we attract, and that we're here to provide a service. So these overcoming objections are just some suggestions, and I want you just to remember, do the activity, do the action, work the numbers, release the outcome, because we're not in control of the outcome. We're totally in control of what we do, but not the outcome. And if we do enough of the action, then we will get the outcome that we want. Does that make sense? Okay, if you have someone say, well, I'm going to talk to you about the tentative booking approach. It says, let me ask around and see who can come. And so then what I go back and say, I said, you know, Brenda, what I usually find is that not everybody that you invite is going to be able to make it. So why don't we do, and also what I find is they ask you, when are you having it? So let's go ahead and put a tentative date down. And then if you get back to me in the next 48 hours, and if we have to reschedule it because of everybody not being able to come, then I won't count it as a change. But let's go ahead and have a tentative date down. Does that sound okay to you? So go ahead and do that tentative booking. Okay. you will go ahead. There are quite some detailed things on overcoming objections, but again, like I said, I don't pull and tug to get people to want my services. I know that what I have is a great service to offer, because when people not use Mary Kay, they not only get an amazing product, they get me as their personal beauty consultant, and that's what I'm going to teach you to be able to sell. I'm going to teach you how to be able to sell you, because that's actually what you're doing. Okay, now I talked to you about how you are going to book your perfect power start, and again, that's back on page 2, section 2, page 3, and it's that new consultant dialogue at the top. Now, if you've gotten a training book that may say my training requirement is to practice 15 faces, you need to scratch that out, and you need to see my training requirement is to hold 5 parties in the next 2 weeks. So that is actually the new consultant dialogue you're going to do to book. Now, after you have booked your party, you need to coach it. Anything that is worth booking is worth coaching. Coaching the party is probably the most important thing you can do to get your party to hold. Now, when we go through each of these steps of building our business and doing everything we need to do, then when a party has to reschedule or it gets canceled, I don't want beauty consultants to feel upset, because it is part of the business. We are dealing with people, and people have things happen, and they need to reschedule, and they need to postpone. Have you ever rescheduled an appointment with the dentist or your hairstylist or with the doctor? So this is just the very same thing, and that's why when we talk about booking your perfect power start, is that you book 8 in order to hold 5, because we know whatever we book, we're going to hold approximately half of what we schedule. And if you go into your business realizing that, then when those postponements and those cancellations come, you'll just know it's part of working the numbers. All right, so once you have booked your party, then the next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to get your hostess bag into the hands of your new hostess. If you look on page 8 in section 2, it's talking about coaching is the key, booking is the lifeline of your business. Okay. I'm going to skip over that first section because that's about booking your perfect power start. Well, I guess maybe I better go over it with you. You've got your list of people. You've got your weekly accomplishment sheet, your date bookmarked, when you're going to hold your perfect power start. You've got your script practiced. Don't be wimpy. Be confident when you are calling these people. Remember, you are not asking for a favor. You are offering something wonderful. Even though they're helping you with your training, they're going to get to try an amazing product. And then practice working through a few of the objections. But normally, most beauty consultants, when you are booking your perfect power start, you are calling family and friends. And I want you to call people who are in your amen corner to get your business off to a great start in your launch week. And then set time where you can be uninterrupted to call. Now, you don't have to have hundreds of hours to sit down and make a few phone calls. I can remember when I was still working my business teaching school, I would take 15 minutes on my lunch hour and close the door to my room and make 15 minutes a call. And then another time I would make calls is after the kids had left from school. I would take 15 minutes before I did anything else at the end of my work day to just make another 15 minutes of quick calls. It's amazing how many calls you can get made in short periods of time. If you can schedule an hour of uninterrupted time, then that is also great. So then you get on the phone and you start booking your perfect power start. Set a goal to get it booked before, and you and I will have talked about the dates of when you need to get your bookings done by. Okay, booking gets it, but coaching keeps it. The first thing, why do you want to coach? You want to establish that rapport with the hostess and build her confidence. Now, in the beginning, you're going to be dealing with people that you probably know fairly well, but this will be a very important step when you start branching out and working with people that you have just met at a party. So it really helps continue to build that rapport and let that hostess know you're going to be her business partner for that evening so that she can get her maximum hostess credit. It also will help prevent postponements. So when we coach a party, we are better apt to have it hold and not have to reschedule. So when do we coach? There's actually 3 different opportunities to coach. And if you see the arrow goes off to the side, the initial coaching is done is when you book it. And that's, if you've done it by phone, then getting the hostess bag into the prospective hostess's hand as soon as possible to go over it, or you are at a party, or you're at a facial and you've done your booking. So that's your initial booking. You let her know that you want to get more out of this, that you want to, okay, let me back up here. I'm going to let you go ahead and just read through that, and then I'm going to actually go through right now exactly how you coach your hostess. All right, well, first of all, you have your hostess bags. Now, everything you need to make your hostess bag is in this section. It is in section 2. I highly do recommend that you do print the hostess flyer out in color because it is more attractive in color. All right, so what goes in your hostess bag? Now, I just use our plastic bags. You know what? If you come up, these are our bags that we will get, or you have gotten when we've done your first order to deliver your products in. So I just use our bags. Then the next thing that goes in that hostess bag is you want a business card. Your business card goes in the hostess bag. A Choices CD for the hostess to listen to, and you will have found out in another section of our training how you'll get these hostess CDs. You probably already have one in your hand, so I put a Choices CD in my hostess bag. And then I put the Choices evaluation sheet because this is part of the hostess credit. This is also in this section of your training book, the copy of the Choices evaluation sheet. There is an outside order form for the hostess to get outside orders, and then there is your hostess flyer that I'm going to explain and show how you explain it to your hostess right now, and then I add a lookbook. All right, so those are the things that go in your hostess bag. They're also listed right here on page 3 in this section of your training book. All right. Party with me and get $100 free. The first way they get $100 free is they get the guest list to you via email, phone, text within 48 hours of booking their party. So what you do is you just say, what I would like for you to do is go ahead, get your guest invited. Tell them a no is better than a maybe because it's reserved seating only. And then after you get a yes, I want you to get the yeses to me, and then I'm going to be doing a follow-up phone call for you to confirm them and make sure they're still going to be able to get to attend for you. Now, I will tell you, I'll talk more about that follow-up phone call in just a second and why that is so very, very important. It's what we call pre-profiling. So she's going to get the guest list to you, and then she's going to listen to the Choices CD before her party, and fill out the evaluation form. Now, I tell her, this is National Sales Director Linda Tupin, and it does talk about Mary Kay the business. This does not mean you're going to become a Mary Kay beauty consultant, but it'll give you a little bit more information, and it may or may not be for you, but after you've listened to this, you can be a talent scout for me. So be thinking after you listen to it, who do you think that the Mary Kay business might be a match to? All right, so that's how she gets her first $20. And then the next way you get your second $20 is you hold it on the original date. If we do not have to reschedule your party, The way you get your next $20 is when you have 5 women there that are over 18 that do not have a Mary Kay Beauty consultant. The next way you get $20 is when you have 2 bookings from your party. So if someone can't come, go ahead and ask them if they'd like to go ahead and book a party, because that's how they can help you out, get some more hostess credit. And then the last way they can earn up to their $100, the last $20, is to have $300 and more in outside and party sales. So that's when I let her know that if someone can't come, just say, hey, is there any reason why you couldn't take a minute, look through this lookbook, and see if there's something you'd like to treat yourself to? And doing an outside order also helps me get more free. Now, the other thing that's great about those outside orders, I stress to her to make sure that the prospective customer who's ordering something fills this out completely, because I'm going to teach you later how you're going to take this and follow up with prospective new clients, new customers. All right, so that is what goes in your hostess bag and how you coach your hostess. Again, that is the initial coaching. Now, the next coaching is following up with making sure she gets your guest list to her. Normally what I do is, because we are in such a tech-savvy and texting world, in the next 24 hours, I note in my date book that if I haven't gotten the names and phone numbers to her, I just give her a quick text as a reminder to get her guest list to me so that she can get her first $20 free. So following up and getting those names and phone numbers. If she is kind of lax in getting those to me, and it has been after the next 48 hours, if it has been the 48 hours since her initial booking, I then send her a text and say, hey, if you can get those names to me today, I will go ahead and give you full credit. All right, so you get your names and phone numbers, which when I talk about your party preparation, we'll talk about what you do with those in the next session. I've got to look. I'm not sure if that's in this section of your training or not. No, it's in your next section of training. And then, of course, the final coaching is when you arrive at the hostess's house. And you want to make sure you get there early, 30 to 45 minutes early, if at all possible. And again, reassure her, give her a sincere compliment and thank her again for having the party with you, because if we don't have hostesses, we don't have business. And so I truly, truly let my hostess know how much I appreciate her. And then I ask her to tell me I have talked to your friends on the phone that are coming today, but tell me a little bit about them. Who do you think's coming today that you think might enjoy doing what I do? And find out who she thinks. This is the first part of your 4-point recruiting plan. Can't talk today. 4-point recruiting plan and sharing and building your business. Then I just remind her that, we'll share the drinks and the refreshments while we're doing the individual consultations. That way they'll all have something to do while I'm sitting down and doing the one-on-one consultations with them. Okay, so that's basically the 3 opportunities for you to coach your hostess. Now, the next thing, I guess it is in this session. The next page you will see, it talks about your pre-profiling questions, so I'm going to talk to you about that in just a second. I want to go ahead and jump to the next page, and it just talks about the checklist for preliminary coaching, which is what I just went over with you, and then suggestions for phone coaching, which I just went over with you. And then you will find the next page that I highly recommend that new consultants use as they're coaching each of their hostesses in the beginning. It's called the hostess checklist. Now, as you get used to doing your business and growing in your skills, you're going to be able to do all of this without this. But for your perfect power start and launching your business, please, please, please use this checklist to know that you've done everything you're supposed to do to coach your hostess. So first of all, it talks about preliminary coaching, that's getting her the hostess bag. And then I send her a thank you note. I immediately send her a thank you note when she has booked that party and let her know how much I appreciate it. You check off here whether you've received the guest list, and then you phone coach her again to get that guest list if you need to. And a reminder about refreshments at the party, keeping them very simple. I normally don't send a reminder card. I just do a follow-up text or a quick phone call. Normally, you want to keep your parties booked close from the time that you book them so you don't have to send a reminder card. And then I do always send her another thank you note after the party because I truly appreciate my hostesses. Then there's a spot here for the names and phone numbers of her guests, and then you can check off whether you've gotten a hold of them or not. And then if there's referrals, if she's got women who, as you're calling through that list, you find women that can't come. As I'm calling through the list, if for some reason they had told her they would be able to come and they now can't, I say, hey, would there be any reason why we couldn't go ahead and schedule your own free one-on-one facial, and I will give your friend credit for you having that facial. And so I go ahead and see if she's open to that idea, and I book her for that appointment. And after I book her for her free facial to help her friend out, I also just ask, well, would you be interested? Would there be any reason why you wouldn't be interested in sharing this free facial with a couple of friends and getting some free product? And so just go ahead and ask her if she'd be interested, any reason why she wouldn't be interested in doing that. And she says, well, yeah, I can share it with a couple of friends. Well, guess what you've just done? You've just booked a party for your hostess, which then also gives her hostess credit. You let her know, well, since you're sharing with a couple of friends, I can even give your friend more hostess credit. All right, so that's the way you can go ahead and book people that can't come. All right, so that is your sheet to use when you are booking, you're doing your pre-profiling calls for your hostess's party. All right, now let's talk about pre-profiling. You've got the list of the women that you need. Okay, I've gotten coaching. I'm making sure I'm going through everything that's here for you on your checklist. And so let's talk about how do we pre-profile a party. Okay, in section 2 on page 11, they actually have a dialogue that is there of how you call. And you can practice that one, but I just call, and so I'm just going to pretend like I'm calling a guest at my hostess's party. She answers the phone, and I say, hi, Janet. Stop and think of the name for a minute. Hi, Janet. Is this Janet? She said, yes. Well, this is Mary, Mary Schmidt, and I'm the Mary Kay consultant that's doing Brenda's party next Wednesday at 7 o'clock. Now notice I always say the time and the date. And you are on her guest list, and so I'm just calling to reconfirm that you're able to come for her. Are you still able to make it? Well, great. Do you have a minute? I got a couple of questions I'd like to ask you. And so you're going to have a profile card laying there. Now, I don't write the name and the phone number of that person on the card until I've gotten a hold of them and they say, yes, they're calling. Well, the first thing I ask them is, have you ever tried Mary Kay? And if they say they have, I say, that's great. Do you currently use Mary Kay skincare products? And if they say, yes, I do, I say, that's wonderful. I'm so glad you know the value of a great skincare. And then I ask, do you have a beauty consultant that's servicing you? And if she says yes, you say, that is wonderful. All right, so what you can do is you will come on Wednesday to help Brenda out, but after that, I will not contact you anymore because we don't take each other's customers. So I will give you your profile card that night after we finish up with the party. Does that sound okay? All right. I will tell you, people are very impressed when we say we don't take each other's customers, but you can come that night to help your hostess out. Now, the hostess is not going to get credit for having her as a new person there, but she will probably come and she will probably purchase and help the hostess out that way. So then I ask her, what skincare are you currently using? And so I find out that information and I mark it on her card. And then I also ask her what foundation she's using, so I don't have to try and figure that out at the party, and I write that down on her card. So that's how I pre-profile someone that already has a Mary Kay Beauty consultant. If the next question is, if she said, okay, let me go back to what I asked. Do you use Mary Kay skincare? And she says yes. I say, that's great. Do you have a beauty consultant that's servicing you? And she said no. I said, well, that is great. I look forward to meeting you and hope that you will choose to let me be your Mary Kay Beauty consultant from now on. Now, can you tell me what skincare you're using? So many times if they don't have a consultant servicing them, they've bought odds and ends, they've got a hodgepodge of things, and so I normally find out many times they just need to get to a Mary Kay skincare party, get refacialed, and get started with their set that's best going to make their skin great. So if she can't quite tell me anything, I just ask her, the first question on here, I ask her, is your skin dry? Is it normal, or a combination, or is it oily? And so I mark that on the card, and then that will tell me what time-wise skincare to put out when I set up her tray at the party. And then I say, okay, thank you, that is great. Then I go, Janet, is there anything in particular that you'd be interested in learning at Brenda's party next Wednesday at 7? Now notice I have said the time and the date again, but I'm also asking her a question that she might be interested in finding out more information about in skincare or color cosmetics. And let's say she says, you know, I've always wanted to know how to properly wear eyeshadow. I've just always struggled with that. I say, okay, I'm writing that down on your card, Janet, that you're interested in finding out more about proper application of eyeshadow. Now, I want you to know that next Wednesday is our introduction to the skincare and taking care of our skin with some dash out the door glamour. And then you and I can talk about that next appointment for learning more about the application of eyeshadow. So what have I done there? I've already started to plant the seed for her second appointment. So she's going to want to see me again after her initial appointment of being introduced or reintroduced to the Mary Kay skincare. So I found out that she's coming. I found out what her skin type is. And the next thing I let her know is, now, Janet, if something happens and you can't make it, if there's any way at all possible that you could let Brenda know 24 hours before the party, that would be great, because it's reserved seating only and we don't want too many people around Janet's table, because I want to be able to properly take care of you that day and do your consultations. And so we've probably got a couple other people that like to have your spot. So if you can't make it, please let her know. Now, we do always tell. Now, what have I done with that? What I've done is I put value on that, the hostess's time and the spot that she has asked this woman to take. We also want our hostess to over-invite. So we may have too many people. Well, never you can have too many people coming. I teach you how to work with all of them. But we always teach the hostess to over-invite, but we want to also teach those guests that are coming to be respectful and let that hostess know if they can't make it. And that way they can add maybe a couple of more people to their party list. And I just say, great, thank you for taking the time to talk to me today. I look forward to meeting you at Brenda's next week, Janet, and introducing you to the Mary Kay products or reintroducing you to them, depends on what you said. And again, look forward to meeting you next week, 7 o'clock at Brenda's. And I just finish up the call. So Now, it doesn't take that long because I'm not going through and explaining everything, which I'm doing with you right now. So that's what we call pre-profiling. And I will tell you, pre-profiling is imperative. It is so important. When you do that, your parties will hold when you do your pre-profiling. And then what else happens if you've pre-profiled and your hostess blows off the books completely and doesn't have her party at all? You've got a whole guest list of names that you can go back and schedule for their own one-on-one appointments. Okay, well, I think that's about enough to digest in this section of your training. So we have finished up behind the scenes of a skincare class. And of course, you're training with me one-on-one and live. I'll be able to answer questions, but you can be writing questions down as we're going through this. And so then we'll wrap this up and then we'll get you ready for section 3.